guys, hope you are doing really well. So recently I had the honor and privilege to be featured on the official Property Entrepreneur podcast together with, hosted by Mark Barrett on the Deals series. So that's episode 169. Go out and check it out. And Mark had Tim Witt as a guest, and Tim was talking through how he managed to find and source 13 deals in the first 8 months of this year alone using Property Filter. On the back of the podcast, we actually went on a bit of a demo in the studio. And so this is the video of the demo where Tim showed us how he finds deal, and together with great hosting by Mark. So I hope you enjoy.
Great. So we've got our bonus session now, and with Guillaume Black and Tim Witt, and we're going to be going through Property Filter. So Guillaume, over to you.
Yeah, thank you very much. So this is the system. So it's a website. It's all about finding deals. People can go set up a login and try this out on a free trial. And the way it's built is there's quite a lot you can do with Property Filter. There's things around the analytics and quite a lot of things you can do here. But really, I want to focus today around finding deals. Around those lead generators. There's everything you need to do. You need for comparables and your deal calculators and things like that, and ultimately your sourcing pipeline where you convert all the good leads into great deals. And it is really what Tim was mentioning about with the deal progression. So I want to focus more on the lead generator, on the
sourcing
pipeline.
What I found really helpful was the kind of like the onboarding thing.
Yeah, that's right.
You're right. Helping with the filters.
So people don't expect the level of support we give them. So we have a whole section that we call the success base. And the idea here is we know that the more successful you're going to be, the longer you're going to stay. So we invest heavily in your success. So there's a series of videos and things around all things Property Filter. You can find and give to your team. But also we run 15 hours worth of calls every week. So yeah, there's 10 calls, 2 for each strategy every week, 15 hours worth of support, and yeah, quite a lot of hand-holding, because again, we know that if you are going to be successful finding deals, you're going to stick with us for years, so it's really in our interest to help you be successful. So that's with the lead generator. The idea here is you set and forget these. Every one of these blue cards is then a bot, that goes everywhere on the internet and brings you leads that match your criteria every day into your inbox. So it works for whatever strategy. And then this is what the inbox looks like. And the idea is that amongst those advanced filters you've set up, to really narrow it down to the properties that will match for you in your area for your strategy, we've got the motivated seller banner here on the top left. And this is where if you only do one thing this week is go after these 4 properties where they're the most motivated because they've had a sale fall through, it came back on the market, etc., etc. And you see some of these, for example, they are listed with multiple agents, so failed to sell with one agent, a new agent being involved, and you see the price failing, etc.
Yeah, I think the graphics there showing the green. Was it green, amber, red? Is it?
Yeah. That's the key thing. You'll train your eye to this, and within seconds you'll know that the guys are motivated, and it becomes a bit of a cheat game. So the blue line here is the price history. Then the background is the availability status, where green is available, amber is sold subject to contract, and red means it's been withdrawn. So in this example here, we can see that they put this on the market in December. They had a sale fall through between February and March. Then they dropped the price in mid-March, sold subject to contract in May, and it seems like it was delisted in June. But what really happened, so this you can't find on Rightmove or anywhere. This agent lost the instruction, and now a new agent's been instructed in June and been trying to sell it ever since, basically. So you can see multiple agents currently listing the property, multiple agents when one failed to sell the property previously, and you can always go and speak to the first one, and there's quite a lot. And you can see you got the full address of the property here, all the amenities, your EPC thing built in. You can click here to go straight to comparables. The health and performance of your area in terms of asking price, asking rent, and how hot the market is for rental or for sale. And then we've got the same for actual transactions that completed, with the last sold things. So this is a leasehold property, and you can see here how many years is left on the lease. and we've built our own property, our own what do you call it, proprietary database for lease lengths, and so this is not what the agent says; it's what the database says. Sometimes the agents don't know that a house is leasehold; they assume because it's a house, it's not, and you can pick it up like this. So, and then equally, it's another strategy people do. So, you can look for short lease properties. So, for example, people in London think they need to travel across the country to find deals, but they are sitting next to hundreds of short lease properties, next to them. So it's what I call the buy, don't refurb, refinance strategy.
Yeah, that's good. So what would you say the main strategies that you find people setting up for?
So HMOs, short lease, anything BRR, anything flips.
BRR being?
Buy, refurb, refinance. So anything you want to add value to old, anything sourcing. So people build a really successful sourcing business on the back of this. Lease options, so because we match properties for sale as well as to rent, or you can look for potential negative equities. So you'll find all those vendors that are struggling to sell for less than what they first bought the property, and they're a bit stuck. And the truth is the mass market can't help them, but as investors we go and solve problems, and it's really how we add value, and it's a win for them, a win for the investor, and a win for the universe, so it works really, really well. So, and then we've got a few people doing quite well, doing commercial to resi as well, so putting all their money out pretty much from these. So we've mainly built this for residential initially, and as we continue to add to this, we are actually going into doing a seeders campaign in a couple of months, where we'll get people involved to invest in Property Filter, and the idea is we know what we need to build, and we continue to add to this all the time. So it's quite. People are surprised sometimes because you expect to get a CD, when you buy a software, and that's it. But with this, we are adding to it all the time. So it's quite evolving, dynamic, and based on the feedback from our members. So commercial. It does it now, but I'd like it to do more. So we're gonna do more of that, and things like sending letters. People find lots of off-market deals as well through Property Filter. So it's not there's a misconception between direct to vendor and off-market. So what is great is you can go and find direct to vendor deals from those properties that have got a history of being on the market, but failed to sell or they've been withdrawn. And when they've withdrawn, the agent might tell you, oh well, they don't want to sell anymore, And then, oh, that's interesting. I've got the full address. Let's go and knock on the door or speak with them. Yeah. And then, you can see on the graph, why they don't want to sell anymore, because they just got a problem that the mass market can solve. So quite a few things like that. So So.
Tim, do you want to just go through games? Just set up like a test kind of thing as to what you look for, the kind of things, some of the tips that you.
Yeah, so predominantly what we look for, we put in search parameters mainly to find HMO conversion type properties. So the combination of what we're looking for is a certain size property that will convert well to a minimum 5-bed HMO. Yeah. Then obviously if something needs work and we can add value to it, and also in the right areas, we look at things like, if we're doing a 5 or 6 bed just outside of Article 4 zones and things like that. So a lot of those parameters we put in the search criteria. We also, with property portfolio building, we have a slogan called Space, Rights and Light. So we can see very quickly on Property Filter if something has got, full sides of the building available, where we can either add windows or utilize windows to be able to add in a lot of HMO rooms in the space and utilize the footprint well. And obviously combine that with the areas and size and things like that, it brings the properties we need, plus the first ones that get brought to the search list are predominantly the motivated sellers. As Guillaume was saying, we look at, have things come back on the market? Have they reduced in price? Like you were saying, has it changed agents? Because sometimes, like Guillaume said, you can ring up the previous agent and find out the backstory as well and things like that. So, it's the best way to find the combination of the exact property you need and motivated sellers, I believe. And it stops you scrolling through Rightmove as well.
Yeah. So, do you want to just go through the pipeline as to how you
so this lead generator was set up for like North Manchester, which is very similar to what we do with the size of property we would sort of use. So we would we would go through these properties, work out if it meets our criteria, A, of something we're looking for, or B, what our client's looking for. So this one here, I think if you look at the floor plan, so the sizing of that looks like it would, depending on the conversion of the seller and things like that, but it's around about the 100 square metre mark, so it may work for conversion. The other good thing about this property, when we said from a light perspective, you can see there's windows on each side of the building because it's detached, or you can add in windows, each side to get rooms and things like that. So that potentially is something we could organise a viewing for. That could be a 5-bed HMO. Also, the price status and history here, we can see that it was originally on the market for 150. It was subject to contract twice. So it's had 2 sales fallen through, and now it's at £115,000. So for that reason, it's very likely this is a highly motivated seller as well. So, and that was the first thing that came up on that filter, wasn't it? Yeah. So if that wasn't, I'm not 100% sure of the area, but if that was an area that we were searching for, because sometimes we have specific criteria for us and our clients. So if that was an area we're looking at, we just book in a viewing straight away because, it would work from that perspective.
Yeah.
So you said this is the first that came up. So can you explain why is it the first you were looking at?
Yeah, because the way it finds results is, so the first lot are back on the market and reduced in price. So as we clicked into it, they'd come back on the market twice and they've reduced the price as a result. So there's 4 of those properties on this criteria that have met that. So the likelihood is they're the most motivated and the first ones we look at. And then, so we'd go through these properties first and then we work through the list to the least motivated, which is the back end, isn't it? That meet the other criteria, but they might not be as motivated. So here's another one as well. So if we look at, this one's been withdrawn and sold. It's come back on the market a couple of times. It was at 149,950. Now it's been reduced to 135. The size, I can't read the text there, but
130 or something.
130 square meters.
122, I think.
122. So
you can pick it up from here.
Yeah, and it's got, because it's a wide property, we know that there's a lot of windows there, or we could add in some windows potentially. So the light requirement meets that as well. So yeah, that would be a good one. If that was the area on our search criteria, we'd book in a viewing straight away. Highly motivated seller potentially.
Yeah, I think, do you want to just show on the map the HMO, so you can look at amenities and also the HMO area?
Yeah, there's a good list on it's below the due diligence that says the transport links.
Yeah.
So if we scroll down,
that's just coming on now, that map. So that's just showing it shows you if it's in red, it's in the HMO Article 4 area.
Yeah.
Which is a good feature.
So due diligence, a good thing, it shows all the postcode as well that Rightmove doesn't, and it says all the list of transport links, city centre, tram stops, train stops, all those sort of things, shops, and everything just comes out in the list, which is really helpful. We put in our search criteria about Article 4, so it just comes up with a tab that says whether it's Article 4 or not.
Yeah. You can see it at the bottom here.
Yeah.
And then then you like this, you then add it to your pipeline. Do you want to just show people what that would then?
It's quite far off the nearest Article 4,
Yeah. So we bought a couple of properties that are literally like a street away almost from the Article 4. Like one, you can see the sign where Article 4 is from the property. The other, the bridge a few houses down is the Article 4. So it's great for seeing that because it is the exact boundary, isn't it?
I literally got one. The garden touches the boundary.
Did you?
Yeah.
So I had one that was shown, which we didn't get, but on the agent's map, they showed it on the wrong side of the road.
Right.
So I thought it was okay, but when you look at your map, it showed it accurately. So yours is more accurate than the agent's map.
Yeah,
that they had the property on, which is good. But yeah, so you add these, and we use like the dashboard here. So we have admin support that works for us, and she puts things in due diligence. Myself and partner will check through the due diligence, and then if we're happy it meets the criteria, then we'll put it in the organised viewing section. Then we'll get the viewings booked in. To be honest, that takes the most amount of time, more than actually searching property these days, is actually getting the agents to confirm a booking and things like that. So we get that booked in. I talk about that pretty much as we go to viewing. It's more than 50% chance that it's something that would work for us or our clients. So probably about 40% of stuff we view we end up putting an offer in for, because we already know it works. And a lot of the information's already there. So then, we view it, we like it, converts to say a 6-bet HMO. Then we'll make an offer and the numbers that stack. We use our appraisal form that we use, make an offer. If it's accepted, it goes to offer accepted at the end. So at the moment, we've got 11 that are secured in that, either they're completely secured. And then if not, it moves to a follow-up section or an archive section. And sometimes we get notified if it comes back on the market, and then we'll recontact the agent, or we'll just generally follow up on a month by month to see where it's at if it's something that worked. But we always, even if we offer, we always say if it falls through or something happens, get in touch with us. So a lot of agents do just come back to us as well. And then we also get notifications when it comes back on, even without doing that, which is great through Property Filter.
Good.
Yeah, awesome. So that is in contrast. So when you say, when you go and view, people are really not in tune necessarily with the cost of doing the wrong viewings, because whilst they're doing the wrong viewing here, where a vendor is not motivated, you're just missing out on the real deals over there.
Yeah.
And then they don't really value their time. It's very quick to spend a whole day, all afternoon in viewings, wasting their time.
Yeah, right move. You don't know if they're motivated, do you really? Unless you read between the lines. Whereas here, it's you generally know that they've had some challenges.
And it's quite impressive to see you use this like it's the masterclass in Property Filter, because we built it like this with this idea in mind that you want to value your time, only view the properties where the vendor is motivated, and then you put an offer on everything, and then you never miss a follow-up, and then success and failure becomes very predictable, like someone would say.
Absolutely.
And it's exactly what you're doing, so it works really well.
Yeah, exactly. And we use another app where we do like a review on site, and then so anyone could pick up that and view the property even without us potentially. So that's what we might work to, and then be the combination of that and Property Filter. We know exactly what the numbers are pretty much straight away, which is good.
Yeah, so there's quite a lot more to this, but the idea is to focus today on showing how you can straight away go and find motivated seller leads and then convert them into good leads. So it's very simple, and then you've got tons and tons of resources to help you when you join. So
great. So if anybody is interested, how would they get in touch?
Yeah, the best is visiting the property-filter.co.uk, and then from there you can book a demo and start a free trial. You get 14 days of playing with this. Some people find deals in their first 14 days. So do give it a try, and we look forward to working with you and seeing the results you can achieve like these guys.
All right, great, thank you.
Excellent, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.